We're back from the break. This is Sports Zone. I am Muftau Nabila Abdullah, and I've been joined in the studio by two gentlemen who are regular faces on this very show. I am the odd one because I'm the only person wearing kaftan. Victor Achutamaklo, Dana Krante is asking, come here. Why? If you kidding, they say, come here, why?
You're lying, that's not what I was saying.
Pamela, we don't want to talk about your matter. If we don't want us to talk about you, yo, is he? Pamela left us here because a man, we call him, Igo Osuf. That thing, it shocked me.
She left here go Osuf because of guy.
Because of man.
Why does that bother you? Like,
Ashoku, you go that distance.
But Osu is not far.
Osu is not far. It's they go farther distance. Just to go meet a woman. I understand, no problem.
With nothing to show for it too.
Why are you bothered that Pamela is going to see another man?
Okay.
You could have left out the gender of the person she was going to meet.
No, she wants to meet a man. I must state it.
And that's the part that bothers you.
Yeah. That's the part of it.
She left us here to go and see a man.
There are men here.
She doesn't like Ini. She doesn't.
You don't marry. You feel click.
She doesn't poop where she eats.
As I day here, my son send me homework. Say make I do give her.
So
them send me homework.
Yes. Yes. I do that all the time. I teach him over Zoom.
But you get some kiddie way, you know.
They are not abreast with information about me, so yes.
Sorry.
Wow. Atu, how are you?
Yeah, we're good.
You're good. Danike,
God is good.
How is madam?
God is good.
And then CK.
God is good.
CK is fine.
God is good.
Thank God. I'm asking relevant questions. The way you're smiling, I cannot ask you.
Time no deal. There's plenty to discuss. Let's enter the thing.
So are they come inside?
Let's go. Roll the thing and let's go.
Relax, la.
Time no deal.
If me they drive the show. If I drive you to
we go somewhere where the driver no start the car, make no complain.
If I drive you to
let's go.
You fall inside, gra.
Well, I know how to drive, so don't.
But let's start. Danike. AFCON final. Just talk to me overall. Just anything about it. What stood out for you in this game? Before we pick the nitty gritties of that game.
Overall, I thought it was a good game of football. We expect these kind of games in finals. Not too many clear-cut opportunities. There was a lot of managing and micromanaging during the game. Two teams were not willing to take too much risk. Again, you expect them for finals. Senegal in the first half had a couple of good opportunities. Iliman Ndiaye drew that wonderful save from Bono. And I think on the stroke of halftime, I thought Lamine Camara, when he received the ball on the edge of the box, should have simply laid it onto Mane or Nicholas Jackson. That could easily have been 1-0. He decided to shoot. Then in the second half, El Kabi got the biggest chance of that second half. A sweet ball played into him. All he had to do was to guide it into the back of the net. He chose the wrong day to not wear his scoring boots, missed that opportunity. Obviously, as you said, we'll talk about what happened at the end of the game. But I think it was, overall, in terms of the football, if you take the incidents that happened, it was a very enjoyable final to watch. Managers were on top of their game. And we all knew, at the end of the day, one team will win, one team will lose. And Senegal ran away with their second AFCON title in just through the last 3 editions, which is a huge achievement for them.
And for the benefit of our viewers who have not seen the highlights of the game, let's take you through that. When we come back, I'll take the toss off. Actually, you heard the commentator there, Senegal, first time out of 3 finals they have played. This was the first time they were scoring in open play.
Yeah. I think the entire Senegalese preparation for the final showed a team that has come of age, a team that is well aware of the subculture around African football, and were not prepared to take any chances. They showed that they were a team that were prepared to go against the grain and wanted to take control of the narrative right from the get-go. Now, with hindsight, we're able to understand and separate some of the reportage that were not exactly true from what was indeed true. And I'm going to start from the issue about the ticketing. Senegal knew days before the final, in fact, about a week before the final, the ticket split, right? And I'm not saying it was wrong to have complained. Leave the complaints to us, the journalists. Leave the complaints to us, the fans. But as the federation, they knew the tickets had already been sold. But in highlighting that matter, yes, it was a good point to make. They were adding up to issues that in your mind will create a certain narrative that they were the victims. So after the complaints about the tickets, the next thing you are told is that, oh, Senegal did not have adequate security when they got to the train station, which later we're now learning that indeed, that's not entirely the truth because they were provided security, except that the way they went about their travel plans is what invited thousands of Senegalese fans who essentially would overwhelm the police on duty. This is not Senegal's first rodeo. This is their third AFCON final in the last 6 years. That clearly tells you that this is a team that is used to the spotlight. Their security are used to traveling deep into AFCONs and having to deal with mammoth crowds. So when they put the specific time they were going to arrive in Rabat, I think they had something up their sleeves. I don't think they made a mistake. They knew what exactly they were doing. I mean, if you are going by regular security protocol, you would say that it is unwise for a team like that, with the sort of following that they have,
give such details.
And to be as detailed as to mention the day, the specific time that they are going to arrive there. I don't know what they wanted to achieve, but clearly the narrative it created added to, or was the next layer in telling the rest of the world that, you know what, we are not being treated fairly and all of that. Then they say they don't want to use not the hotel, the Mohammed V Football Academy, the Technical Training Center, which is the one reason that I stand by them. It's the one situation where I say they were 100% correct, because the reason is very simple. The facility is not one that you can question its status. Morocco spent $69 million in 2019 to renovate it. It has 11 world-class pitches and 1 million other world-class facilities there. So it is fit for purpose. Morocco have used this in this tournament. But the reason it was wise not to have used it is that you cannot trust that Morocco would uninstall all the cameras at that facility and that they would pass up that opportunity to get real-time, first-hand information, and sometimes with audio, about what Morocco or Senegal will be doing when they are training. And in the final, that is a big advantage. If they get to see the training drills, they can make sense out of that.
They can spy them.
Through that, better prepare for it. So this was Senegal looking at that situation and in a very mature decision saying that, thank you, but we're not going to train in this facility and expose ourselves, which was a smart call. And so right from 2 days to the final, everything Senegal did was to show us that they were in control of the narrative. You may not like the way they went about some of it, especially the train station thing and the scores of fans that went there. But this was Senegal arriving. This was a team that was, by their actions, telling the rest of the continent that they are not naive. They are no longer the boys that will be bullied, but they will take the dark art to you. The final points that, for me, I liked it, was the way Evan Diouf, the assistant goalkeeper, had to go and protect the towels. It was disgraceful. But this is what Morocco have done in the semi-final game against Nigeria. They kept taking Stephen Nwabali's towels. So there are some videos where when Nwabali went further up the pitch to take another towel, and this is the thing, it is raining. The goalkeeper's palms are greasy. And so at every opportunity, they want to wipe the wetness from their gloves. Morocco don't want that. And so they kept taking it away. Senegal knew this. And so the moment they started taking away the first few, the blue towels, Yevan goes to the back of the goalposts and decides that I am playing police here. Nobody is taking any of the towels again. And so you would see the videos where some of the ball boys, and I think one of the security will go there to attempt to take it away from him. He refuses. Ultimately, they still manage to take some of those things away. But that is a team showing that they are alive to every single scenario that can go against them. And they were not prepared to take any chances. And I like that mindset that I would rather take the initiative and make sure that I level the playing field rather than to wait and complain later after losing. And more importantly, when they stepped onto the pitch, they left no doubt in our minds that they were the better team on the day.
Kind of weird. See how they were even
this is paranoid.
almost fighting in front of.
This is nothing but
Edward Mendy. That's
this is nothing but paranoid.
What about the game itself on the field? What did the final represent for African football beyond just the scoreline?
For me, it was a celebration of African football. I mean, these things happen everywhere. Euro 2000, Luis Figo got so upset he walked off the pitch in one of the games. It did not become the narrative around the European Championships. We watched Euro 2022 when the English police were unable to control the crowd at Wembley. Yeah. Tens of thousands of fans outside Wembley and the security breaches that happened there. Nobody reported it through that lens alone to use that to color that tournament. In fact, just 3 years ago, the Champions League final, it delayed for 37 minutes. Nobody looked at that incident to say that it was picturesque of what European football is. No, there was context to it. And I think that is how the story around this AFCON has to be told. It's been a brilliant tournament, even on the nights. It was a brilliant night of football. Even after the disturbances and calmness was restored, we saw the brilliance that both teams exhibited on the day. Senegal were just better. And the goal that they scored, in the end, they decided to win the game in a manner that would leave no doubt at all about the quality that they have.
Then again, you subscribe with that the better team won?
Yeah, look, in terms of chances, I think Senegal created the better opportunities in the game and they deserve to win. But look, everybody who watched the game yesterday, you don't need to read it from anybody's lens. When you woke up, the main incidents are the ones you were thinking about. So let's not lie to ourselves that wasn't a big story or a big storyline in the entire game. My issue is we can't sit here and lie to ourselves that we don't care what they say about our game. We do. And we are trying to prove beyond reasonable doubt that African football is on par or maybe even better than what we see outside. Yeah. So when things like this happen, it doesn't help anybody, especially us. And I feel like it was very avoidable. It's the biggest stage in African football. It doesn't get any bigger than that. It's an AFCON final. It's last minute. And we see conduct like that. We can't overlook it and act as if everything else that happened should take precedence over.
Play was on pause for like 17 minutes.
Yeah. And not just what happened in the dying minutes, the whole ball boy situation, these things go out. And I say it all the time. We know how the foreign media, we know how the foreign press are. They are looking for moments like this to run away. So the simple thing is don't give them what they want. One went to Cote d'Ivoire.
That's what Gary said at the press conference.
Yeah.
Some people are here to disgrace us.
Look, one went to Cote d'Ivoire, nothing like this happened. Yeah. And it was bottom line here in competition. It's either you lie or you just run away with what actually happened. And what actually happened was brilliant football, excellent atmosphere on and off the pitch. And those are the stories I ran away with. But now you can't tell somebody what to report and what not report when you are behaving like this. That's just how I see it. It was very avoidable. And CAF seriously needs to take a look at this because I don't for the life of me understand how a ball boy can be dragging a player on the pitch. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense to me. ball boys will jump on the pitch and are dragging a player off the pitch. And I asked myself, what if the goalkeeper decided to react? What if he swung his arm and he hit one of them? It would be a completely different story. But he was well within his right because he was being dragged on the ground while holding a towel. It's raining. You are allowed to. So what right did the ball boys have to come on the pitch to the point where it took an official who had to run across?
Security, actually.
And then, for me, the most disgraceful thing is that guy, the PSV boy. You were on the pitch, you didn't do anything.
I Barry.
Then you go and sit there, you are doing yourself your bodyguard. And the bodyguard, did you notice that he wasn't stopping Mendy from using the towel? So he was there, what? Isn't that the third goalkeeper? He's handsome and he just likes looking at him. Because then, what was the sense in him standing there with his arms on his side like he was, look. You're not stopping him from using the towel. So right now, what are you doing? Or you like Mendy? Like what? Is Mendy handsome or what? You just want to look at him. It really didn't make sense to me. So some of these things could have been avoided. It was very unnecessary for me and very annoying because we knew exactly what was going to be reported after this. And we've seen the articles flying around this morning. And I repeat it. Let's not pretend that we don't care. We do.
One platform actually said it raises questions about their bid to hold the 2030 World.
Yes, it does. It does. This is the biggest stage on African football. If you are saying that African football is on par with the other continental championships and in terms of organization, it is on par. Some people even say it's better than FIFA competitions. Are you telling Brazil and Argentina and England and Spain that when they come to when they are hosting the World Cup here and they are facing Morocco, or ball boys can come and take you? That's the message you are sending. So it does raise questions. It really does. And anybody who is outside has every right to question what is happening there. Because it shouldn't happen. And you see, when bad things happen and you give bad examples of things that have happened elsewhere, two wrongs don't make a right. It's wrong. It shouldn't happen, full stop. Whether that becomes the narrative or that doesn't become the narrative, it doesn't change the fact that it's wrong. Especially when you are in a position of disadvantage. The African, when I say disadvantage, because of the image and the optics.
Yeah.
So then you have to give yourself every reason why people will be talking positive. Not go out on the pitch and behave like that.
And behave the way they do.
It's just not right.
Sadio Mane, he's been praised all over the world for bringing sanity to this game. I'm just wondering if he didn't do what he did, what this final could have become.
But they were going to continue playing. If you, to be cynical, he was playing his role in the whole thing. It was just good cop, bad cop. The thing was mind games. It was just mind games. He had to play his part. But on a more serious note...
But it was a smart thing that he did.
Oh, yes. But I'm saying that on a more serious note, they would have played. I'm saying that because immediately Pap Thiaw, and I think earlier today, Sicho explained the sequence of events and the first signal for the players to leave the pitch. So essentially, it was in response to the disturbances in the crowd and the fights between the Senegalese fans and the... But later when he actually said, we all go into the dressing room, then you saw the Senegalese ambassador. Then you saw, he actually came to the pitch side to tell them that you guys have to go onto the pitch. Before that, you saw El Hadji Diouf also placing a phone call. Someone hands the phone to, I think, Sadio Mane to speak to. So Mane wanted the team to continue playing, but beyond him, you had the Senegalese ambassador, you had El Hadji Diouf, and possibly who knows who.
Claude Leroy was there.
Possibly other people of weight and substance who perhaps Pap Thiaw would not be able to say no to. He probably overreacted. But you see, when it comes to issues like this, my approach to them is that life is not binary. I don't like to look at them from the black and white and say that he's right, he's wrong scenario. I don't want to see another team walking off the pitch under any circumstance. It is not something that
was that a penalty?
We want to encourage. Yes, it was a penalty. But the reason Senegal will feel aggrieved is that moments before that,
he scored what looked like a good goal as well.
And it was because the referee was trigger happy. Now, with the VAR protocol now, you perhaps allow that sequence of play to end without whistling as quickly as it. Because the moment you whistle, every other thing that happened doesn't matter, and VAR cannot intervene. You get it?
VAR is not supposed to re-referee the game.
Yes. So he whistled. So technically speaking, it was not even a goal that was disallowed because the whistle went before. You get the point I'm making? But if he waits it out and allow that sequence to conclude, and he still thinks it's a foul, there's VAR there that would allow him to review it, call his attention to go and review it. But that option was not afforded the Senegalese. When a few minutes later, they see that an incident that the referee, I think the referee himself did not even see it. And I don't think VAR called his attention immediately.
He was there busy smiling.
It was at the insistence of Brahim Diaz. Before a VAR called his attention, then I don't know. But the very first alarm bell came from Brahim Diaz.
After the incident, the referee had stopped play and he had put his hand on his ear. So he hadn't allowed play to continue. Play had stopped.
Yeah.
Then Brahim Diaz kept on complaining
he
told them to wait because they were still telling him before
I remember that.
They didn't resume.
I remember that scene. Yeah,
so,
I remember that scene.
Following from that, they would feel that, but why is it that in our situation, we had a goal, even though technically a goal was not scored, the decision went before. And also, look, the reason sometimes referees, the whole essence of discretion, when we say referees are allowed to use their discretion and not necessarily follow what is in the book, black and white, it is with the assumption that the referee will be fair and consistent enough to apply the same logic in similar circumstances. So if he uses his discretion to allow something that should be a foul, if he allows play on, in a similar sequence, you would expect that there will be that consistency and fairness in allowing that to go. So when they see that different things happen in our situation, he was quick to take the option away from VAR, and then in their situation, there is that communication, they will not look at it and say that, oh, the difference is that this time the VAR is communicating. In that moment, they feel wronged.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that in situations like that, a team that feels wronged, they feel cheated, they are questioning the integrity of the regulatory system there. I don't think it will be reasonable for any of us to expect that they are going to play by the rules in that situation. Again, everything that has been happening in this tournament about the lenient refereeing that they get, perceived or real, Senegal believe it.
And what? Not just Senegal, many people.
Yes. Yesterday,
I saw from Robert Marawa, and in fact, he didn't just tweet it, he brought it on our platform, and he says so many things. Look, because it's a platform I don't want to read, but he says so many things on that platform.
Yesterday, and we've all seen the games. The similarities or the disparity between the decisions, one is Morocco and one is against the Tanzania penalty, Brahim Diaz penalty, those things will play on their mind. So when they, in that moment, make the determination that the law is against us and it is not fair, I cannot, in good conscience, expect that they will play by the same laws that they believe at that moment has lost its integrity. So what happened yesterday, I would not want to see it. And going forward, CAF has to take an action.
Exactly. So what sort of sanctions should be imposed on either Morocco or Senegal? So
specifically for Pape Thiaw, I think a fine is okay. Same goes for...
No suspension?
No. Same goes for... Because it's a World Cup year. The only point... If you suspend him for anything less than 7 months, it's pointless. Because the next time the Senegalese are going to play, the match window is for qualifying. It's for friendlies.
It could even be a touchline ban.
Yes, but I'm saying that the match window is for friendlies. The only time Senegal are playing competitive games is in June. Is the World Cup. And if that sanction is not going to affect the World Cup, then it's pointless. So the most realistic one, I believe, is a fine. The same goes for what Hakimi did. Saibari, the same. And for the Moroccan FA, for not being able to control the ball boys. Because what they were doing, the fact that it kept happening repeatedly and nobody tried to stop them. Then the Senegalese fans as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So that is what I think, because are you going to say that in a World Cup here? Look, let's even be realistic. Whatever happens, I think it's only the Senegalese who will be punished. I don't think they will touch Hakimi, even though we've all seen what he did. I don't think they will touch Saibari. I'll be very surprised if any Moroccan official or player gets punished.
Granted, but in fact, Morocco said they are going to report the matter to CAF and FIFA and order. But from where you sit, what sort of actions should be taken by CAF to sanitize the game based on what we saw? In fact, we should be here talking about the tactical approaches to the final. However, we are looking at the auxiliary stuff in the game.
Yeah, because it was the major thing that happened. But, okay, you see, the Hakimi thing, what are you going to punish him for? Picking a towel that was out of play and throwing it further out of play. The towel was not on the pitch.
And in fact, something happened within that period. It appears some people were asking for it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, should I...
Look. You don't insult our intelligence.
No. The bottom line is...
He knew exactly what he was doing.
The bottom line is...
Let me have
if you go per the rules,
around goalkeepers.
If you go per the
rules, let me hear from them.
It is not a punishable offense.
Why?
It's not.
If I pick
a bottle on the touchline and I throw it, I don't throw it at anybody. Which rule does that break?
Do you remember let me answer that. Do you remember the Eden Hazard incident with the ball boys?
Yeah, he kicked the boy.
Was he on the pitch?
You kick somebody, you are talking about. So throwing a towel is equivalent to throwing
it. It doesn't matter.
Charlie Massa. Kicking somebody.
Is this the first time Hakimi has...
Find a better example.
Is this the first time Hakimi has seen a towel beside the goal? But where is the towel supposed to be?
You let me make my point.
Is the towel supposed to be on the pitch?
Now let me hear from him, and then I'll take some messages.
I'm saying that you can skim through the rules. You will not find a rule he's breaking. Bottom line.
Must he and other people, like the Moroccan FA can be accused of not being able to control their ball boys.
Yes, the FA must be sanctioned.
Can equally be sanctioned.
Do
we necessarily need to have rules that are spelled out?
Yeah, maybe because of this, IFA will bring a new rule that if you touch a goalkeeper's bottle or this thing, maybe because of this will bring a rule, but I don't know the rule they are breaking. But look, I don't think we should condone what Senegal did. I don't care what you feel like.
Especially the fans?
The players and their decision to walk off.
Okay.
Look, if we are talking about fairness and we are talking about a team being aggrieved, every single Senegalese player that went off the pitch and delayed restart should have received a yellow card. The entire squad should have received a yellow card. And that would have meant that coming on the pitch, they would have had 2 or 3 red cards. But the referee didn't do that. So Morocco can also say that was cheating. If we really want to go by the rules, their action of leaving the pitch and delaying restarts attracts a yellow card for everybody who did that. But the referee didn't give yellow cards to anybody. In fact, El Hadj Diouf got a yellow card for the foul. Should have received a second yellow card for walking off the pitch. Because per the rules, that's exactly what it is.
He was instructed by someone to walk.
Look, the issue is, if we sit here and we try and make what Senegal did right, then the Ghana Premier League teams who also feel and they walk off, we have no moral right to come and sit here and condemn them. If on the biggest stage of African football, we want to try and understand what the Senegalese were doing, anger is a very valid human emotion, but you don't overdo certain things. You don't break rules.
You don't allow your emotions to get the better.
To get the better of you. You can challenge the referee's decision by refusing to play and not just walking off, going to the dressing room whilst the match is going on. Delaying restart by about 10 minutes.
The only place we missed was the cameraman going there to the dressing room, but he followed Mane inside.
No, we don't do some of these things. And it does, and it has put the game under disrepute.
So
it's not...
What actions should CAF take? Should they sanction Senegal? Should Morocco? Should they sanction...
Yeah, they should get serious sanctions, but it will be suspended. Because if you are going to punish the Senegalese, it will affect them in the World Cup. So I'll do a suspended...
And tell them that if you do that again, you have...
No, suspended. After the World Cup, the next AFCON qualifies. Maybe they'll start with -3 points. Morocco, I'll give them a stadium ban. Day that everybody goes there to play, they will have to go outside to play their home games. Because what they did was down to them. They are the organizers. They are in charge of... The ball boys, they are in charge of all these things. So for me, I don't get it. Look, the the penalty incident on Brahim Diaz, it was a penalty. The
Senegal goal.
disallowed Senegalese goal. And you see, there's a thing about football that's funny. If you can't get 100% people saying this is the right decision or not, then it becomes subjective. It was a very soft foul, I'll even put it, air quote, foul on Hakimi. Very soft. But at the end of the day, if the referee sits down,
Was there a touch?
was there contact? you see how funny the rules
Football
are?
is very funny and
It's very
annoying.
funny. They'll ask simple questions. Was there contact? Yes, there was contact.
Did he go down?
Did he go down?
He did.
He did. Did Hakimi go down, enable him to have a free header at the ball? He did. Although it's soft, although I believe that was a wrong decision by the referee, he can go to the panel and defend his decision.
Yeah.
So you can't use that to walk off the pitch. You don't do that, full stop. You don't. And we shouldn't condone it. We can't condone it. Not in any way.
So the two federations were both wrong.
Two federations, the coach. For me, it's Pap Thiaw that is annoying me because
People say he didn't display emotional maturity as the
leadership.
leader of the team.
You are the. If anybody should be calm, it's you. If anybody should be calm in that moment, it's you.
But why were the Moroccans also involved? This one, it had nothing to do with them. You are in a game. Senegal is protesting a decision. Also go and stand here somewhere. Why were they everywhere? Why were they part of the action?
Part of which I don't understand.
So, for instance, a decision has been taken against Daniel. Daniel is protesting. Instead of at you to go and gather his children, his wives, his uncles, and all, and so we they here. If they finish protesting and come back, we will take our penalty. Then they come to you, they are talking to you, then they are pushing each other, pushing people. Was it necessary for Hakimi and Walid not to get their people together, but allow them to go and take part in all this drama?
I think it's a penalty. You don't think it's a penalty. I'm trying to get you to convince you to come and play. Those things.
But ultimately, that's what caused Brahim to miss the penalty because.
In fact, did he deliberately miss it?
I give you an example. Let's not insult our intelligence. I give you an example.
How can you appeal for a penalty? It is given to you, and you tell them you missed it.
That
deliberately.
logic, I don't understand it.
See,
because if you want to miss a penalty, what's the guarantee that the goalkeeper will stand still?
Blast it off
If you intentionally want to miss, Dikanu has done it. He turned and he kicked it. The surface area of the pole as compared to the rest, the outside is bigger. Blast it away.
There's 50 years waiting for it to be.
Let's not.
He finished and he was crying. You were consoling him.
The example I was going to give, 2018, Real Madrid Juventus in the Champions League. Madrid get a stoppage time penalty, contentious one. Juve are making all sort of noise. Ronaldo isolates himself because he knows he's the taker. That at the end of all of that nonsense, once the referee has made his decision, the decision will stand. And my job is to take it, is to keep calm. And I think that is where Morocco lacked someone with the presence of mind in the midst of the madness to call Brahim Diaz away from all of that.
Brahim wasn't even the one to play.
Hakimi.
No, he himself. The ball was with El Nesri.
The ball
El Nesri wanted
The designated taker is Hakimi.
Hakimi.
Before.
But El Nesri had the ball and went and gave it to.
Yes, but I'm saying.
That's the same way Sivapia gave our ball.
Yes, but I'm saying that.
The fact that he's holding it
someone
doesn't
can
mean he's a
protect it.
taker.
But I'm saying that knowing who was going to take it, they should have at least isolated that player away from all of the madness.
Even the balls, there were two on the pitch.
Yeah, there were two balls.
The Senegalese had their ball and the Moroccans had
The moment he went to fight for the thing and the referee alluded, the penalty was given. From then on, your job is to stay calm. Forget it, because there is nothing that the Senegalese were going to do that was going to change the outcome. It was one of two. Either you don't play or you come back and then the penalty stands.
Wow. Many people have joined us. As I mentioned earlier, it's a very interactive show. 0551575757.
Pap Thiaw, give him a 10-game touchline ban if I was cut. 10 matches plus a hefty fine.
This one says, this is a message. It says, good evening. This is Aminu from Van Boy. Oh, thank you, sir. Countryman. He says that I've been a supporter of Senegal since Mane broke into the scene. He says, in fact, the referee had a personal plan to deny us the trophy, but our towel was stronger than him. Anyway, where's my brother Fent? Fent is in Morocco. I'm sure he should be back soon. And then this one also says, apart from Awoshi, he says that good evening. Morocco organized a great tournament, but deserved everything they got in the final. It is 2025. These antics, intimidation, and shenanigans were completely out of place. I enjoyed the game at Old Trafford, just sad we didn't win by at least 5 goals. Again, the third goal was never an offside, though. These VAR lines, dear. He's talking about the Manchester Derby. And this one also says that Franklin from Kasua, he says that even if they ban Senegal from all competitions, no problem. What Senegal did was the right thing. Kudos to Chelsea FC for winning their game. And this one also says that everything that happened in the AFCON final was regrettable, but we need to stop looking for validation from the Western media. It seems we are the ones who are looking down on ourselves. Stop looking for validation from the West. You're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Mr. Karim is joining us for Ghanaian Players Abroad. We are back from the break. This is Sports Zone on Joy Prime. Sweet Karim, Unstoppable Karim, has joined us for Ghanaian Players Abroad. Karim, how are you?
Are you obsessed with me?
I'm supposed to. I am supposed to. You're
Why
my
are you
colleague.
obsessed with me?
Sweet Talala Karim. Talala.
Is that his wife?
Sweet. Yeah. So sweet, then Talala.
Please,
Sweet
Benaya, can you
Talala Karim. Talala.
Benaya,
Who and who have made your team for this week?
fantastic team of the week. Danny K,
Ragnar Ati.
the World Cup project.
Ragnar Talala.
Yes.
Talala.
Karim, are you sure you're not doing agenda for some boys to be taken to USA, Mexico, and Canada?
If I'm doing agenda and they are scoring, why not?
So,
You can just pick your phone and check Ragnar Archie over the weekend. What did he do?
Is he a Ghanaian?
that was he doing in Ghanaian players.
Okay.
So, where I'm starting from is that Ragnar Archie, last week, you heard me mention his name.
Yeah.
The last 2 seasons he played in the German second tier. He scored 17 goals. And then last season, 18 goals. And then this season, he made a step up to the German Bundesliga. And over the weekend, that is his team, Cologne. They played against Mainz. And he came off the bench at halftime. They were 1-0 down. He fired a brace to win the game, 2-1 for them. And now this season, he has 4 goals and 5 assists in all competitions in 19 games. He's doing it at the top level now. I've been singing about him for 3 seasons now. Otoado, open your eyes. Okay. Then Jerry Afriye, he plays in Belgium for Louviers, and they also won 3-2 against Club Brugge. Louviers, they are fighting relegation, and this victory is crucial for them. And now Jerry Afriye, he has 3 goals for Louviers. And this, the last time he scored a brace against Louvain, and now he has to wait about 15 games to score again for Louviers, and it was crucial for them to come back and win 3-2. And then Christopher Babons, the first time he's making the team this season, and he plays for Al Qadsiya, and they won 5-1 against Al Hazim, that is in the Saudi Pro League. Danny K's favorite Saudi Pro League. And he provided 2 assists.
No, but Christopher is your friend.
Yes. I didn't say he's not my friend. I just said Danny K's favorite
You are moving
Saudi
him
Pro
to
League.
Danny K. When we all know the relationship you have with the boy.
He says my league. He didn't say Christopher. Now, who's swaddling? He says Danny K's favorite league, Saudi
I
Pro
didn't say
League.
Danny K's favorite.
I saw this guy, Talala. This guy.
So this is, he has 3 assists and 1 goal for Al Qadsiya. Then Augustin Boachi also scored the winner for Saint-Etienne, and they won 1-0 against Clermont. That is in the French second tier. Then Atamalawe, I choose friend. He plays for Korum. That is in the Turkish second tier. And I think they won 3-1 or something. And in that game, out of about 84 passes he attempted, he completed 74 of them. And then Lawrence Ajekum, he plays for Cercle Brugge, and they also won against Westerlo, and in that game, he won the most tackles and also won the most duels, 7 tackles and 10 duels. And then Ali Dusseidu plays for Rennes, and they drew 1-1 against Le Havre, that's in the French top flight. And in that game, Ali Dusseidu was the most fouled player and as well won 8 duels. Then Nicolas Opoku plays for Kasimpasa, that is in the Turkish top flight, and they drew goalless against Antalyaspor. And in that game, 58 passes he completed in that game. That is the most for any player. And for a player to play 45 minutes or more, he has completed the most accurate passes. Then I'm having 2 Turkish top flight players as my center back. Then Jerome Opoku plays for Başakşehir, and they won 2-1 against Fatih Garimuko or something like that. That is also in the Turkish top flight. And out of 9 passes here, about 84 passes attempted, completed 79 about that of them for Başakşehir, and they won 2-1. Then Frimpong, Godfrey Frimpong, he plays for Kasimpasa as well, the same team as Jerome Opoku, and in that game as well, he was so good. He's so strong as a left back. The regular left back, Gideon Mensah, he didn't play. Ebenezer Annan, he didn't also play. Then the new man, Godfrey, with Khan, I don't know the surname, Khan, he plays for in the German top flight.
Yeah.
I can't remember the team. Yeah. So he didn't play this weekend. I think he had a red card in the last game, so he didn't play. Then Nuruddin, Manaf Nuruddin, the first time in a long time, he plays for Upin, and he came off the bench for them in the second half. When he came, that is Upin, they were already 2 goals down against Beveren, that is in the Belgium.
So he wasn't the one who considered.
So he wasn't the one who considered the goal, and they actually scored 1 goal in the second half when he came. So they won the second half when he came in for them. So that is it.
Wow, that's a very good team. A team that can represent us at the World Cup, right?
I have a question, Karim.
Yeah.
I realized that the metrics he kept mentioning for the centre-backs were passes completed.
Yeah.
Why weren't we looking at the blocks or other defensive?
Well, those are relevant ones. But when you are looking at it, what gets them the highest ratings that I'm talking about?
Right.
So that is what I'm talking about.
Last one.
Yeah.
Right now, it looks like Salisu might not be
At the World Cup.
time. The centre-back options, no. How does the Nicolas Opoku and the others, no? Who looks the likely partner for Jiku?
The most likely, I actually fancy
Jerome Opoku.
Jerome Opoku. So, but the issue is that
Is it because of his dexterity? Or
he can play the ball, like he's so good in passing, but the issue is he's error prone. If he's able to work on
Salisu is not error.
but Salisu
might be better.
he has the experience. And he plays regularly with Jiku. Yeah. They have that understanding. And Jerome Opoku, he doesn't play so much as Salisu. And when he gets the opportunity, hopefully they do that in these few games we have before the World Cup.
Okay, thank you very much, Karim. Sweet Karim, unstoppable Karim.
Sweet Talala. Talala Karim. Talala.
Players.
Talala
A message from Mutala says
1 down, 3 to go.
what Senegal did was uncalled for. Richard also says that he thinks Senegal were wrong. The referee did a great job. All his calls were correct. Senegalese coach should be sanctioned. He has brought the image of football to disrepute. And he says he agreed with Daniel Cranton 200%. This one also says that he is Kobe from Achimota. He says, first off, Mane revealed they knew El Nesri was the one to take until Hakimi asked him to give the ball to Brahim. So I fully support Danike that wrong is wrong. And this one says that I'm enjoying the conversation, but there's no enough visuals to back them. I'm Sly from Tadi. Oh. There are some specifics. When we're dealing with the specifics, so you notice that when we talk about the ball boy issues and all this, we had to accompany them with a visual. So yeah, this is Dodoa from Gambia. Oh, wow, it's Dodoa from Gambia. In Ghana, that's an area actually. Dodoa from the Gambia. He says that his brother in the white T-shirt, who says Senegal should be penalized for their attitude, is absolutely right. His friend to Daniel Cranton here. And he said, I thought the same. The ball boys on Morocco's side should be penalized as well. And this one also says, Sadio Mane is the king of Africa. Long live Senegal, long live Africa. Taibalda, also from the Gambia. They have sent us these messages. We're taking a quick break. When we come back.
Wait. Sweet Talala Karim came here. You've not asked him about the Senegal issue. Talala! The Senegal issue. I want to know.
What do you want to know?
What you made of the whole they deciding to walk off the pitch, the penalty.
In fact, and the data you gathered, would you...
Sweet Talala.
See, listen, I was watching the game with emotions. I don't want to talk about it.
Why?
See, when Hakimu kicked the penalty, it was like Ghana.
Brazil,
Brahim Diaz. It was like Asamajan.
Oh, God.
Charlie, I almost break the TV.
No, so what you have to do is that you have to ensure your heart when you are watching football. Because it's an emotional
I
sport.
just don't know. I just wanted Morocco to win. I don't know why.
And you invested so much emotions.
Charlie.
Wow.
He didn't, you see, he said he almost. Last week he would have broken the TV. This week he didn't break the TV.
Because
you know why? Because of Talala.
He no longer controls the remote. He doesn't control the remote.
Break it and see what will do.
Davey, you want to change the remote? You say, oh, I just want to check something.
If you're a man, break the TV and see what.
You said, oh, can I check something on this channel?
I almost broke the TV.
We are bringing you Greece match day, and we are going to be centering on Manchester United's victory over Manchester City. Chelsea also won against Brentford, but the focus is going to be on Manchester United. Let's take a look at how Michael Carrick led Manchester United their 2-0 victory over Manchester City. Carrick football. Yeah, that's how we should describe it. What a game Manchester United had against Manchester City. Let me get a toss of my gentleman in studio on this one. And let me start with Daniel Cranton. I just heard you talk about Dogu, that he's the best player. Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, he's currently the best player in the world.
But just a few days ago, you said Ishan.
I said he's currently the best player in the world.
So the future is not the present.
Yeah, thank you.
Or the past is not the present.
Past is not the present.
When he scored a goal, my wife came, she said the app says Dogu has scored, but is it true? So yeah, Dogu has scored.
You said the app says.
The app says. She has to see it to believe it. Dogu.
But what did Michael Carrick do different from what we saw under Amorim? And even, in fact, when Fletcher took over in the interim for just a brief period. What did Carrick do different? Because the way they were playing the ball with so much confidence, the flair, everything, I'm like, is this really the Manchester United? The way actually smiling, you were happy to see that.
Look, it was a very good game. Tactically, United were all over Manchester City. The press was on point. When they picked up the ball, you could tell exactly what they wanted to do. The patterns, I wonder how long he's been training with them, but there were certain patterns that were repeating itself. The players had this understanding out of nowhere. And you have to commend Man United for. The only thing that hurt me was that it wasn't 5 or 6-0. If City were the ones who had Man U like that, they would have destroyed.
It could have been 4.
Exactly.
2 were disallowed.
Those ones, they are facts. Facts, offside.
3 were disallowed.
Yeah, 3
were disallowed.
The last one was dodgy.
Yeah.
The automated offside, it doesn't lie. When they were drawing their lines, they've gone to buy technology. That one, it doesn't lie. He was offside. But, look, I've seen these things right now.
You don't want to get too excited.
I want to see the next 3-4 games. In fact, the next game is against Arsenal at Emirates. It's going to be tough. After that, they have Fulham and some other. Let me see. I want to see maybe after the Tottenham game, if United can rack up some good results in the next 4 or 5 games, then we can start assessing Michael Carrick properly. But look, in as much as this was a super performance, you also have to factor in that this Man City team they are not the best Man City team we've seen. And this kind of brilliant counter-attacking football. When Ole was in charge of Man U, This is how we're shipping City. I've seen it before. So for me, I'm calm. Let's see them play 3, 4, 5 times before we can make a proper assessment. But obviously, in isolation, this game was a super game.
Achu, is based on what you saw, though Danike says that, he doesn't want to get too carried away. He wants to see more. Though he saw some repeated patterns in the play of Manchester United against Manchester City, he wants to see more. Do you want to see same before you can begin to be confident in what Michael Carrick can do for Manchester United?
Obviously, it would be immature for anyone to be making sweeping statements after that performance. But if you're Man United fan...
The English media don't care. If you read from the portals...
I get that.
They kept asking the question, where was this Carrick?
Let me talk to the Man United fans. Look, if you're a Man United fan, be very happy and be very excited. This is therapy. I was watching the game and I was so... Look, this is therapy. Don't let anyone tell you that, it's too early. 2 weeks ago, United would have lost this game by... And let me tell you why United fans need to be happy about this. This game, if Ruben Amorim had been in charge, straight 5 defenders, possibly 6. And from when United go in front, that first substitution is a centre-back coming on.
Amorim beat City.
I get that. But when he settled, we saw his hand.
Yeah, so maybe when Carrick 2 settles, you see.
No. That first substitution is for me, it's the mindset and the approach. That excessively negative football that United were playing. Look, how do you coach compact football and still be very open and concede as many goals as you did? So if you're a United fan, be happy that Amorim is not the guy in charge. As for Carrick, we'll judge him as he coaches the next games. But the mere fact that I don't have a manager who will look me in the eye and tell me that Menu Ugarte offers something to this team that Kobe Menu cannot do makes me happy. The mere fact that the idea that this Kobe Menu is not good enough to at least be a squad rotation player, nobody can convince me that. But the Man United midfielders, who are they? United don't even have midfielders. And yet, this Iberian guy told United fans that Kobe Menu is not even good enough to be a squad rotation player.
I called the guys out.
Rotation, is he that bad? The player we saw against Manchester, clearly there's a player in there. At the very least, to be someone that you can rotate. So that manager who said that, he's a very bad manager. The other reason why, if you're a United fan, you should be happy is that the nonsense of asking Bruno to be playing 60 yards from goal and be receiving passes from centre-backs instead of doing the sort of damage that he did to Man City. Yeah. Bruno is Man United's best player. What kind of tactic justifies playing your best player out of position and in an area where he is of no value to the team? So yes, we'll judge Carrick later. But the mere fact that this cancerous style of coaching from Amorim is gone is reason to be excited. Maybe whatever comes next might not match this performance against City. And nobody even expects that. The guy produced that performance after 3 matches. No one after 3 days. Yeah. Nobody in his right senses will expect that all of a sudden United will play that way, the way they did against City in every game. It's not even, in fact,
it's not if he were to be in charge of the team for years, you wouldn't expect that.
Teams even approach.
If you were to be in charge of the team for even a year or 2. Right?
Well, for that one, you...
No. There are moments in games where teams will come and they'll have a very bad day. Overall,
by and large, there has to be.
So when they have a bad day, they're not going to be able to produce that.
But by and large,
they can produce 1, 2, 3 good performances. 4th, 5th, it goes bad, and they pick up again. It's possible.
So the bad days there is possible.
It's not guaranteed.
I'm saying that, look, this is
playing like this week in, week out.
I'm saying that this is why United fans needed to accept this, because look, the gaslighting was through the roof. And they needed a performance like that. They needed a results like that. And especially from Bruno and Kobe Menu, to tell everyone that Ruben Amorim now are born. There was a reason because there is no coach in this world, I'm telling you. See, Bruno Fernandes, when you play him deep, he doesn't even keep the ball well because...
But he was the best player in that position.
He takes a lot of risk. But what did the team gain from him playing there?
But
That
he
is the
was
point.
the best player in that position.
That is the point. The whole intention.
So he's the best. He's the best player in any position at all.
As for the Menu thing, once you are playing Bruno in central midfield, there's no way Menu will play. That's the fact. Because once he's playing in central midfield, his direct competition is Bruno. Is he better than Bruno in anything? No. And he can't do what Ugarte or Casemiro does. So as long as that system was being played with Bruno playing in central midfield, Menu was never going to play, which was a fact.
But was Bruno influencing games from where he was being played?
Are you telling me that this man, this is the first time you are seeing Bruno this season? Bruno was by far the best. He has been by far the best player this season. Every time he plays, Bruno is the best player. Oh, Pesado, you come see Bruno and the one of Pesado is like Bruno has been brilliant all season.
This thing is like someone telling you, oh, but the guy gave 4/10, and his 4/10 was the best in class.
Bruno was 4/10 this season.
I'm saying that's the equivalent of it. When the guy has the potential to give you 7,
so the person
when he has the potential to give you 7,
8,
he is giving you 4, and
5.
he's the best in class in that position. And you are saying we should accept it.
Bruno, central midfield, he's better than all of them. Bruno, number 10, he's better than all of them.
Look, Bruno in central midfield,
he's better than all of them.
He's not better
Bruno
than
is better than
I would never accept that. If Bruno plays in that game against City, he takes a lot of risks and give away possession in game states where United just need to keep the ball moving.
Yeah.
That is not what his skill set is suited for. Let him take his risks further up the pitch.
Bruno in central midfield, 3 back.
See, there is nobody in that
better
Man United team who, over a consistent run of games, in front of it. This is the thing. You see,
This is
the thing. The whole idea that you want to shoehorn those players into some dysfunctional setup is what I find flawed. That was the beginning of all of these problems. Play the guy where he
gone.
Where he can function better.
I hate Ruben Amorim with passion.
You can't hate Bruno Amorim.
Oh, I hate him.
And you cannot say that on television.
Because he brought us a lot of pain and anguish.
So he brought you emotional pain, emotional damage.
Man United fans, enjoy the therapy and take whatever comes next.
You see the guy they play negative. How is he playing negative?
There's this gentleman from Kumasi, Kobe. He said he was just here to congratulate Karim. But Karim has left. But now, what you are doing to Karim is not fair. You allow Karim to go before you make them send me the message. What is that? What sort of life? We don't like Karim. It is not fair. We will go to Spain and bring you highlights of Barcelona's game against Real Sociedad. In fact, Barcelona lost. Real Madrid won against Levante. These are results of matches played in the Premier League. We have Manchester United winning 2-0 against Manchester City. Chelsea, Benaya, next time spell better, 1-2-0 against Brentford. Leeds United won 1-0 against Fulham. Liverpool drew 1-1 against Burnley. Sunderland 1-2-1 against Crystal Palace. Tottenham Hotspur were at home and they lost to West Ham United. Nottingham Forest drew 0-0 against Arsenal. And Wolverhampton Wanderers also drew 0-0 against Newcastle. Everton won 1-0 against Aston Villa. So these are some of the matches. Benaya is not taking responsibility for spending Chelsea wrong. Well, Arsenal are at the top. They have got 7 points advantage. Arsenal have got 50 points. Manchester City have got 43. Aston Villa have got 43 as well. Liverpool have got 36. Man United have got 35. Chelsea are sit with 34. Brentford have got 33 points. Newcastle 33. Sunderland 33. Everton 32. Pamela, what you said, I heard you. Now, let me take you to Spain and bring you highlights of Barcelona's loss to Real Sociedad and Real Madrid's 2-0 victory against Levante. Barcelona dropped points. Real Madrid gained some points in La Liga. Then accounting. Post Xabi Alonso, Arbeloa secured victory.
Yeah, he needed it. He needed that win, especially as Barca also drop points. Very important. I think now the gap is just 1 point at the top, which is, it helps him a lot. Going out of the cup last week didn't help matters at all. It means Real Madrid now have 2 competitions to play for, which are the 2 most difficult ones, the La Liga and then the Champions League. The squad, the manager don't have experience of this current Real Madrid team with Mbappe coming in, the way it has changed, having won a trophy. Last season they went trophyless, and they need to be as close to the top as possible. So it was very important, and they got that victory. Very good, comfortable win. But now it's about consistency. They need to, because this Barca loss at Sociedad, it wasn't necessarily because Barca played badly. Barca had some really good opportunities. It just was one of those days where you could just tell they would lose. There's nothing. If they had played for 3 hours, they could have created chance after chance. They just were not going to score. It's one of those days. But Real Madrid need to be consistent, because I don't think Barca will drop too many points from now to the end of the season. So the only way you can catch them and overtake them is for you to also maintain consistency. And I think Madrid are very capable. There was a time this season where they were 4 points clear, so I don't see why they can't rack up that consistency. But a lot will depend on the manager and how he shapes up the team from now to the end of the season. But I'm hoping. I don't want the La Liga I don't want Barcelona to run away with the title. This season is not...
At least there should be some competition.
Yeah, if you look at Atletico's form, not necessarily the best. Villarreal, you know that they will not... When we go a bit deeper into the season, we know they will not be able to keep up with the two. So at least Madrid should be in there to make the title race a bit more interesting. That's what we are hoping for. But this Barcelona team, I just think this one was a blip. They'll be back.
With Barcelona dropping points, Real Madrid gaining points at you, would there be pressure on Barcelona having lost points, knowing that your closest rival is just 1 point behind?
No. I think they are used to this. It's what they do from mid-February to mid-April is what's going to be important. But I don't think they will worry too much about this. But I've been surprised by the way Barcelona have moved, because I thought their transfer activities would have been influenced by some of the performances of their defensive options. Because I look at this team and they still need a centre-back. I don't think Kubasi is ready yet to lead that back line for Barcelona. And he needs an experienced figure beside him to guide him through some of the difficult moments that Barcelona are going to have. Because I think some of the games that they have lost, and if you look at some of the goals they conceded, it's still difficult for me to shake off that PSG defeat and the manner in which they conceded those goals. And there's been a couple since then. And those situations reinforce my belief that he could do with a calming, more experienced leader at the back to guide him, but also for Barcelona themselves. And that's why I thought they will throw their hat in the ring for someone like Maguire at Crystal Palace. But the more you listen to the figures and the wages Man City are paying him, you probably understand why Barcelona maybe were never going to stand a chance. I do hope that in signing Joao Cancelo, what it would mean is that Jules Koundé reverts to playing as a centre-back, a position he hasn't played for, 4 or 5 years since he left Sevilla. So, but something has to give. The centre-back options that they have got aren't great. And this is the last chance they would have before you hit the knockout rounds of the Champions League. Once this window closes, it's on to next season. So I do want to see something change, because if they are stronger, you have a more competitive team, a more competitive league in La Liga. As for Real Madrid, I was surprised at the whole... In fact, so they booed every player who was coming out of the tunnel when they were announcing the names. But for Vinicius especially, every time he touched the ball, the whistles went loud. The whistles
And
rang.
Mbappe was unhappy afterwards. He said if they are to boo, they should boo everyone and not a selected few.
Politics.
But
That's political? You think it is?
Now, what Vinicius do you think Mbappe will not boo him himself? You can't say it.
But look, something has to give. And you see, that's why in the whole Xabi Alonso thing, I was reluctant to be harsh on him. If Ancelotti, of all people, could not get this guy to stop his tantrums, and no one is saying that the racial slurs and attacks that he suffers are justified. But sometimes I think he overdoes it in the way he behaves and how he carries himself and all of that. I still haven't gotten over storming down the tunnel in that El Clasico when he was taking off. So something has to give. Maybe it will take dropping him for a few games. Maybe it will take having a conversation and telling him that.
Would Florentino Perez be happy about that, dropping him?
Well, someone has to make that decision.
Okay.
Because look, this baggage, even for Real Madrid that they say is the home of superstars, to what end?
We have seen superstars. Let's take a look at fixtures of UEFA Champions League. There will be loads and loads of action. We'll have Kairat Almaty coming against Club Brugge. Bodo Glimt versus Manchester City. Copenhagen will play Napoli. And just by the way, just let you understand, the fixtures that are 9 o'clock and those that are 6:45 are rather 5:45 and 8 o'clock instead, and not 9 o'clock. Inter Milan will come against Arsenal. Olympiacos versus Leverkusen.
We're running commentary on the Inter-Arsenal game tomorrow on Hits FM.
Yeah. Real Madrid versus Monaco. Sporting Lisbon versus Paris Saint-Germain. Tottenham Hotspur versus Borussia Dortmund. Villarreal versus Ajax Amsterdam. Galatasaray will play at Atletico Madrid. We have Karabakh versus Frankfurt. Atalanta versus Athletic Bilbao. Bayern will come against Union Saint-Gallen. Chelsea will play Paphos. Juventus versus Benfica. Marseille versus Liverpool. Newcastle versus PSV. And it's Barcelona versus who? Barcelona versus who? Barcelona versus Slavia Praha, according to Benaya. Yeah.
I think Barca are playing away from you.
Yeah, Barcelona are going away for that. Your top fixtures, then we move. Wrap up.
Obviously, Inter-Arsenal, that's the game of the round.
Wow.
Yeah.
Inter.
Arsenal beat them too.
Arsenal, they look too good, eh? That's it, man. I don't know how they didn't beat Nottingham Forest. In fact, they said they had a very good penalty that was denied.
And the Joker is no sound.
I saw a tweet from your... He said the way Ateta is playing with Jokers. That is our show for tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. And as I mentioned earlier, if you want to go to the FIFA World Cup, go to Latina Travel and Tour. They are located at Alisa Hotel, Northridge, and secure your spot. The package is $3,990. Yeah, accommodation, feeding, feeding is not part. Accommodation, transportation, match tickets, visa. These are the things put together to give you the package for that, and in fact, an exclusive business networking opportunity. And also, this show probably brought to you by Guinness. Guinness, yes, you can. They made it possible for us to bring you Guinness March Day. Piva, also a proud sponsor of this show. Game Energy, feel the energy. Always, we appreciate you, our audience. You're the reason we are always here. We thank you so much for always making Sports Zone your preferred choice on Monday nights. Thank you very much. Head on to myjoyonline.com for some more sports stories. Then accounting is giraffing, but the camera will not pick in. We appreciate your company.